Hey guys, today we're going to be replicating this design you're seeing on your screen using Figma. So beforehand, I've gotten some pictures and I've removed their background because this picture you're seeing here, they are transparent background pictures. So I've gotten some pictures here. So we have picture of the video, Sabinos, Olamide, Messi Johnson, Tiwa Savage, and this other person. So we're going to use these pictures, some of them to replicate the design we have here. So this design might have been done using some other tools, but today we're using Figma to create the same thing. So before anything, I would like to create the same size of this picture as a frame. So doing that, I'll right click and I'll say frame selection. So on doing that, I will make sure I clip the content so that any object I put inside are not coming outside after they reach the edge. This is what I mean. So if I give this thing a color, let's say I give it white color, and I move the picture away a little bit, you can see we are seeing the background while the picture is not being clipped. So the if I clip, so the part of the picture has been clipped. So it's necessary to make sure this is selected when you uh, put something in a frame. So I'm going to remove what I have in a frame. I'll move it outside to remove it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'll give this thing a black color. So I'll just press I on the keyboard and I'll pick from the color I have here. That is done. So the next thing is that I will reduce the size of these pictures so that they will fit what I want to do with them. So the next thing, I'm going to create another frame. So this frame is going to be just like this. So it can be varies in time of height and width. So depending on how we want the picture to come out more. So one of this picture, I'm going to drag it inside here while pressing down my control key, and I'll release it like that. So I'll move it inside this place. Now reduce the height a little bit. So I will make it vertical center just like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to remove the background of this frame. I don't want the white background, so I'm going to remove it like this. So the next thing I have is the outline, the stroke. So the white stroke, I'm going to apply the white stroke here. So this is stroke and the stroke is white like this. So I'm going to increase the thickness of it. So we have two. Now, but if you look at the design, this is having only one stroke that divides them. So what I will do now is I'll go to the property of the stroke and I'll make it to appear to one side, just like this. Another thing that is very important here is that the stroke has a fading color at the edge of it. So you can see at the edge of it is having a faded color, the color fade into black. So I'm going to select this and I'll go to my color here, the stroke color. So I'm going to select the gradient color. So I have the gradient color. Let me zoom in so that you can see very well. So having the gradient color on the stroke. So this part of the stroke, I'm going to have a black color here. So by this stroke, this end also, I'm going to have a black color. So like that, and from the middle here, I'm going to have a white color. So the essence of having this is that we have a black color at the edge. Since the color of our background is black, so it's very easy for us, and we have the black color at the both ends. We have the black color at both ends, you can see, and we now have white here. So from the middle, the white will spread towards the black, will fade into the black background. So after doing this, I think this is very nice. So what I will do next is to just increase the size of this picture, just like this. Increase the size of the picture to have here, like this. So if you look at this other design here, so we only have their face, we only have their faces, and their dressing is not showing. So what I will do here to make the dressing go is that I'm going to create a circle. So I'm going to create a circle just like this, and I'll press I on keyboard to select the black color that I have here. So I'm going to drag it inside the frame, and I'll increase the size just as we have it. We need to make it fade into the picture. So this is what I'll do. I'll go to effect here, and I'll give it a shadow, and the shadow is going to be layer blur. So giving it layer blur will allow me to blur the object. So it will allow me to blur the object. So I'm going to increase it, the number here. So I think that is okay like that. So I'm going to duplicate it. So I'll hold down my shift and alt on the keyboard, and I'll drag it up to duplicate it just as we seen. So I need to move this up a little bit. I have this. So to complete this thing, so this picture here is a colored picture. We need to make it a black and white picture. So the next thing I'll do is that I'll go to picture property, and I'll take the saturation to 0. So to do other things, I can adjust the exposure, but take it down a little bit, the shadow, move it a little bit, and bam, we have the design. We can increase the size of the picture as we want, or do other things that we think is very important with it. So that is for the first one here. I'm going to move a little bit here like this. So other things I'm going to do for others, just hold down my shift and alt and drag this first one and release it to the edge of the first one. So I'm going to reduce the size of it because I don't want it to look bigger just like this other one. So I'm going to pick another picture. Let's say it was savage. So I'm going to press Ctrl X on keyboard to cut it, and I'll hold down my control and select allow me this picture inside this one, and I'll press Ctrl Shift R to replace the picture, and again I will increase the size of this picture. I'll scale it so that we have something like this. So the next thing I'm going to do after this is to remove the saturation. I'm going to picture property and the saturation, and also reduce the shadow and take the exposure a little bit backward. So we have it like this. And also the black something we have here, we can also adjust it to cover the shirts. So next thing, I'm going to create another one. Hold down control, hold down shift and alt to make copy in a straight line. So I'm going to drop that. So I'm bringing the video, I'm going to right click on it, I'm going to press Ctrl X on it to cut it. So I'll select your savage in this one, and I'll replace it by pressing Ctrl Shift R. Then is at the edge, so I'm going to bring it to the center, horizontal center. Then I'll scale it down. So I will go to this place, select the scale tool, or press key on the keyboard, then increase the size of it to scale it. So we have this like this. So the next thing is to take down the saturation from the picture, reduce the shadow, and again take exposure a little bit backward. So we have this. So we can actually increase the size of it a little bit like this to be more bigger than your savage zone. And another one is, um let's say we have how many pictures there? We have 5 pictures. So I'm going to repeat the videos on like this also, and reduce the size. Now I'm going to cut Mr. Johnson, command or control X to cut, select the video, control shift R to replace, then uh, press key on the keyboard, increase the size of this picture, and this woman is so beautiful. So just like this. So the next thing is to take down the saturation of the picture, just like it. Take down the shadow a little bit, and also the exposure. So that is that. So we're going to use the Sabinus for the fifth picture. So I'm going to copy this Olamide here like this. Copy Olamide, and I'm going to cut Sabinus, Control X, then select this, Control Shift R to replace, then scale it down, scale it up like this, then remove the saturation from the picture, and then take down the shadow, and also reduce exposure a little bit like this. Now this is what we want to do, and the next thing, if we look at it very well, is that the last one shouldn't have um the stroke. So I'm going to remove the stroke from here, so that we just have what we have here, and again move this picture to have something like this. So, or if we like, we can reduce, so that we have something like this. And the last thing is, if you look at these ones, so this is something we have here is not in, they are not in straight line. So we need to like take some down a little bit, um just like this. Make sure when you are dragging down, hold down shift so that it goes on a straight line. So this is it, just this little bit, not so from there. So this is a design. You can do the same thing too from any other design tool. The Figma, I'm very comfortable with Figma.